Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. 33-year-old man gunned down in Portmore amid state of emergency. Amid the imposition of a state of emergency SOE in St. Catherine, a man was shot and killed by unknown assailants in Cumberland, Portmore, in the parish on Friday night. The deceased is 33-year-old Wilson Graham of a Cumberland address. Reports are that sometime after 10 p.m., residents heard loud explosions and summoned the police. On their arrival, Graham was seen suffering from bullet wounds to the upper body. He was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Earlier on Friday, in the wake of the announcement of the SOE by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, the body of another man was found at a car wash on John Street in Spanish Town by residents. Police said the victim was found with multiple gunshot wounds. On Saturday, a decomposed body was found in bushes along a section of the Edward Seaga Highway close to the entrance near Mandela Highway in St. Catherine by the police. The gender of the deceased is unknown. That discovery brought the number of bodies discovered in St. Catherine since the start of the week to 6. In announcing the state of emergency on Friday, Holness said the terrorism that was being experienced in some communities in Spanish Town was a result of the level of organized criminal activities among gangs operating in the old capital. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson, in providing another perspective on the crime situation in St. Catherine, said the rising numbers of murders and shootings in the St. Catherine North Police Division had spread to the St. Catherine South Police Division, including Portmore and Old Harbour. St. Andrew man living in hell after neighbor starts livestock farm. An elderly man says his daily living experience has been transformed into a hellish nightmare after his neighbor began operating a livestock farm next door. Paul Daly, who is in his 70s, told reporters that since returning to his home in Western St. Andrew in February 2022, his living situation has become unbearable because of the stench, noise and flies from the farm which houses pigs, chickens and goats. I usually go and come, however, because of COVID-19, I was away for a year and a half, Daly said. When I came back in February, I discovered that my neighbor had started a farm with goats, roosters, chickens and pigs, including small piglets, Daly added. According to Daly, the animals grunt and make noises all hours of the day and night. In addition, Daly said that he is unable to open the windows and doors on the left side of his house as the animal pen is less than 6 feet from his kitchen and bathroom, which are on the side of the house. I can't open my doors or windows on that side of the house due to the stench. I am also attacked by flies as I open my kitchen door. As a result, I have to keep the house locked up and it is incredibly hot, said Daly. The flies have taken over my yard, they've taken over my house. It's a health concern for me. I'm living in hell honestly, added Daly. Actively seeking reprieve from the situation, Daly has reached out to the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, the Public Health Department and his local political representative, but noted that nothing has brought resolve to the matter. The KSAMC has given me a number. I have not heard much from the public health, and you know how politics is, Daly said. All I want is some assistance anywhere I can get it. I am an elderly man. I just want to enjoy the rest of my life and my property. I have been living in Lambspend Westwater House since 1958. I moved here with my mom and dad. My neighbors who've moved here less than a decade ago are just plainly inconsiderate and selfish, Daly added. Reporters reached out to KSAMC Senior Director Robert Hill, who noted that farm animals should not be raised in residential communities within the municipality, pointing to the Keeping of Animals Act. Hill further added that it was the remnant of the City Inspector Department to deal with the problem. Man caught on CCTV footage gets 17 years for businessman's murder. A man who was implicated in the killing of St. Andrew Car Mart owner Robert Mendez in 2014, which was captured on CCTV footage, has been sentenced to serve a minimum of 15 years in prison. John Jarrett, who was not the triggerman but was charged due to his participation under common design joint enterprise, last week pleaded guilty to murder and illegal possession of firearm in the Home Circuit Court. His guilty plea arose from a plea deal that was struck between the prosecution and the defense, which also saw charges of attempted larceny being dropped by the prosecution. Presiding Judge Justice Bennett Graham Allen sentenced Jarrett to 17 years in prison for murder and 15 years for illegal possession of firearm. Both sentences are to run concurrently. A statement from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions (ODPP) said Jarrett was ordered by the judge to serve 15 years of his sentence before being eligible for parole consideration. The murder incident was captured on CCTV footage in the Mendez office and was made available to the Crown and defense before sentencing. The allegations as outlined in the statement from the ODPP are that on April 1, 2014, at about 8:50 a.m., Jarrett and his former co-accused Bertram Jenkins, alias Heavy D, who pleaded guilty to the murder in 2020, went to Payless Motors Limited in St. Andrew. The car mart, which was located off Maxfield Avenue, was owned and operated by Mendez. Both now accused then went outside with the now deceased, where former co-accused Jenkins was seen conversing the now deceased, the statement said. Thereafter, all three men returned to the office, where the now deceased went into his office with a female customer. Both now accused waited outside of the office in the lobby, where Jenkins had a black laptop bag in his possession. After the female customer exited the office, the now deceased then escorted both now accused men into the office to discuss the purchase of a car. After about 2 to 3 minutes of discussion relating to Jenkins purchasing a car, Jenkins, took a firearm from his laptop bag and shot the now deceased Mendez in his head. Thereafter, Jenkins stole the now deceased licensed firearm, which was a 9mm pistol, from his waistband, the statement added. It was further reported that Jenkins and Jarrett both left the office, but the latter returned to the now deceased office and tried to remove a bracelet from the now deceased man's hand, but was unsuccessful. The Crown rested its case on the concept of common design. So although accused Jarrett was not the actual shooter, his conduct suggested that he was there to aid and abet assist Jenkins in the commission of the offense of the murder of Robert Mendez, the ODPP statement said. In accordance with the law, Jarrett would be criminally liable to be charged, tried and convicted for murder in a similar way to Jenkins, who was the actual shooter, it added. In providing an explanation for Jarrett's sentence of 17 years, the ODPP said the judge took into consideration the number of years that the accused Jarrett spent on remand, which was 8 years from 2014 to 2022. As such, the learned judge used 25 years as her starting point for the offense of murder, less 18 years spent in custody, amounting to 17 years, the ODPP indicated. Turning to Jenkins, who admitted to the crime in 2020, he was said to have traveled to Canada, and a request for his extradition was made through the DPP's office for his return. He was extradited to Jamaica on August 10, 2015, and was charged on September 29 of the same year. He eventually pleaded guilty in the Home Circuit Court on March 12, 2020, and was later sentenced to a total of 27 years and 7 months behind bars. Jenkins was ordered to serve 15 years of his sentence before being eligible for parole consideration. Deposit refund scheme being developed for plastic bottles. The government is to focus on a deposit refund scheme that is to be backed by legislation for plastic bottles. In providing an update on the ban of some single-use plastic packaging materials in the Senate on June 17, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Matthew Samuda, said the scheme aims to increase the percentage of plastic bottles that are collected for recycling. This statement in no way diminishes the efforts of plastic manufacturers by way of the Jamaica Recycling Partners Initiative or that of any of the other recycling companies currently operating in Jamaica. Their efforts are to be acknowledged and congratulated, said Samuda. He noted, however, that the results of the overall effort are not in line with the country's national targets of approximately 60%. My information is that less than 20% of newly produced bottles are collected for recycling. The USA nationally is only about 9%, so our ambition cannot be based solely on what others do. It has to be based on what best practices are available for us to achieve our national ambitions and our target needs to be above the 60% the minister stated. We will ask over time as we build out this system to get formal declaration of this target in the way that have formal targets for protected areas. We need formal targets on how we manage our waste, but that will take some time, he added. Samuda said the government will be working with all stakeholders, including the opposition, as we develop the policy, legislation, and operational ways. He pointed out that plastic bottles represent approximately 13% of the Jamaican waste stream. Samuda said although plastic bottles are not banned locally at present, given the current unstable geopolitical environment, the bottles require and deserve a significant focus from the government. In the current unstable geopolitical environment, glass bottles are simply not available in the quantities required by our market. Several of our manufacturers who use glass, who have long-term buying relationships, are struggling to keep pace with current demand. That means, quite frankly, that at this stage, plastic bottles are not bannable, he stated. Meanwhile, he added that the government will be re-engaging the public to remind persons of the ban on some of the plastics and the attendant environmental implications of their use. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.